Hello, my name is Mateta, so welcome to the FPL Scope and the weekly wildcard draft for Game Week 9, where I try to select what I think is the best squad to have currently in Fantasy Premier League going forward in the next few game weeks. And as always, I'm going to select a squad of 15 players, where I'm going to rank them 1 through 15. The number one player that I present to you guys, the first guy that comes up in this team sheet here, is going to be the player that I think is the most important player to have currently in FPL. And then the 15th player is going to be the player that was the least important to the squad, but still made it into the squad. Also going to talk about the players that have dropped out since last time, because this is something that I do every single week. I make a wildcard draft every single week on this channel. So if that appeals to you, then you can subscribe and you can be joining this channel as a subscriber, I guess, if that makes sense. Also going to talk about 3 players on the cusp that were close to making the team but didn't for one reason or another. 3 different alternatives in case you're building your wildcard with a bit of a different squad structure, because maybe you have more money available for a striker or a midfielder or a defender, or yeah, any which way really. I'm going to give you some alternatives in each position as well at the end of the video. I'm also going to try to, after some feedback last time around, I'm going to try to tell you what the lineup would be for this next upcoming game week and some more things like that once I have the full squad out for you guys. But let's just start going with the squad and the number one player, the number one pick in this draft. That is going to be the player that is the most important to have, and that is Haaland still. Yes, the fixtures are getting pretty bad now. Aston Villa away, who haven't really conceded much lately. Bournemouth, who are a really good team in general. Liverpool and then Newcastle. But it is Haaland. He scores in every single game now, and he is the auto-captain every single game. There's really not that many reasons to go away from him. Maybe you can go with someone else in that game week against Liverpool potentially, but Liverpool have been pretty bad, so I think Haaland could score in that game as well. So Haaland, just an amazing pick. Don't really have to talk too much about him, so let's move on to the next pick. And that's another player you don't really have to talk too much about. Semenyo, he just keeps finding ways to getting points every single game week, getting an assist or a goal or DEFCON or bonus points or however which way he can get some points. He always gets it. Semenyo, he's been absolutely fantastic this season and is still going to be the number 2 pick, especially with these good fixtures. Nottingham Forest at home and West Ham at home amongst the next 4 fixtures. Those are 2 of the best fixtures you can possibly have. So Semenyo is a pretty simple choice in this draft as well at number 2. Number 3, we have Gabriel, and number 4, we have Timber. That's the same as last time, actually, 2 Arsenal defenders who are really, really good. I just watched Arsenal now against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League, and Gabriel was absolutely amazing, scoring a goal, getting an assist, getting a clean sheet, getting subbed off early, so he's going to be a bit rested for the league as well. Just a perfect performance to have enough faith in Gabriel going forward. He's just such a force on those set pieces from Declan Rice. So yeah, he's just a fantastic pick. Timber as well, he played a little bit too much for my liking in the Champions League game, played 82 minutes, but he did also get subbed off, which tells me that he is also someone that Arteta prefers to get rested, who is going to play most games. I think the whole Timber's playing time thing is overblown. He plays most games that he is available for, and he's been available for games for a long time now, and it's been really good. He's super attacking, he's in the box all the time, he's also good at set pieces, so he's just a tremendous player as well. So Gabriel and Timber doubling up on Arsenal defense seems like the easiest way to go. Those are still my 2 favorite Arsenal picks. You could even triple up on Arsenal defense, but I haven't done that in this draft. But that is actually like a viable strategy as well. But there are some good Arsenal assets attacking wise as well, which we'll get to eventually with the 3rd Arsenal player in this squad. I say eventually, but he's right here actually as the number 5 pick, because Saka, he didn't score in any of the, or didn't get a goal or an assist in the 4 goals against Atletico Madrid, but he is someone that is always involved in what Arsenal do offensively. He's on penalties, most likely, presumably, especially now that Gyökeres scored twice. He's probably not going to need the goal for confidence anymore, potentially. I don't know. Who knows really with the penalties for Arsenal. But Saka, regardless of penalties, is going to be a really good asset with those fixtures that they have coming up now. Palace at home, they just conceded 3 goals against Bournemouth. They can concede against Arsenal as well. Palace games in general just have a lot of goals in them currently, so that might not bode well for Gabriel and Timber, but Arsenal can't keep a clean sheet against anyone. That's what's so alluring about their defenders. But Saka offensively, really good. He was so good in the last league game, getting points despite not getting any goal returns. He got bonus points. He got 2 DEFCON points as well, which is really nice to see from Saka. So he's just an all-round really good player for not too big of a price either. He's 10 million, which is quite steep, but it is at least not as much as the likes of Salah, who doesn't get any points at all. So Saka is still a really good pick to have in FPL currently. Another player who's a really good pick is Jean-Philippe Mateta. It's a bit too early to buy him with Arsenal away, which I just told you now. Arsenal are so good defensively, so this might not be the week to bring in Mateta. I'm personally waiting one more game week myself to bring him in permanently into my team. But he is just outstanding. Scored an hat-trick last time around. He has had 15 big chances so far this season. That's only 2 less than Haaland and way more than the next guy. I think Semenyo with 9 is like the next guy with the big chances in total. So Mateta just gets a lot of chances for Palace, who are the best attacking team in the league currently as it stands right now in terms of XG. They're creating a lot of chances lately, and Mateta is the main beneficiary of that. But the other big beneficiary of that is Ismail Sarr, who's another really good pick from Palace. I have doubled up here with both of these guys. I feel like that's a good idea, even though they have Arsenal now. After that, they have just fantastic fixtures for the next like 5 or so fixtures. Brentford at home, Brighton at home, Wolves away. They have another really good home game after that as well. They just have really good fixtures, Crystal Palace, and I would like to triple up on them actually, which is why I also have Muñoz as the final third Palace pick. So it's 3 Arsenal players in a row and then 3 Palace players in a row. Those two teams are really, really good. They do face each other this game week, so it's a bit of a clash of titans here. I would bench the Palace guys, actually. I'm going to get to that at the end of the squad, but that's ideally what I would do, but maybe start one of them. I don't know. Maybe Muñoz, who has a chance for both attacking returns and the clean sheets, because who knows how that game will play out. Maybe it will be like a high-scoring game. Maybe it'll be like a 0-0 type of game. It's really hard to predict with Arsenal and Palace, with basically like the best defense in the league facing the best offense in the league currently as it stands right now. So that's going to be an interesting match, but these guys are mostly here for the game weeks after this game week, which is why it might not be the best idea to wildcard in this game week, but if your team needs it, then sure, go ahead with it. But yeah, those players are really good to have, of course, but not ideal in this fixture between each other. Palace and Arsenal are 2 really good teams, and it's going to be tough to see who's going to get the points out of that. So yeah, but anyways, Mateta, Sarr, Muñoz, I think long term, or especially like the next like 6-7 game weeks with Sarr, he's going to go out to AFCON in game week 16 or 17. He's more of a short-term pick, but he has such good fixtures, and he's been so good this whole season despite not getting any goals against Bournemouth. He looks like an outstanding pick, so he's there. Muñoz, just both ways, both defensively and attacking wise, like he is super good. Palace have kept a couple clean sheets this season, and Muñoz is someone that can score anyways, even if they do concede goals, as we've seen lately. And he's also like pretty good with defcon points as well, so he's just a really good pick in general. Muñoz, so attacking as always, and Palace are another level from last season despite losing Eze, which is absolutely amazing. They are just a great team under Glasner, who's been a fantastic manager. So yeah, 3 Arsenal players, 3 Palace players. Let's move on to a different team and a different player. We have Newcastle, and we have Nick Pope in goal. I think he's still like the outstanding goalkeeper currently. They did concede twice against Brighton, but I don't think that's that big of a deal. Brighton do tend to score against every single team in the league, basically. But they are still a good defensive force. Newcastle, I think Pope, just for now, like he has been one of the highest goal-scoring players. Not goal-scoring, but one of the highest point-scoring players in FPL so far. Robin Roofs is still ahead of him, but Sunderland have dreadful fixtures. And Newcastle actually have really good fixtures. They've gone through a lot of really tough matches so far this season. And they've still kept the most clean sheets, I think, in the league, maybe apart from Arsenal. I think those two guys are those two teams are the 2 best for clean sheets so far. And Pope just looks really good this season, has been really good after Ramsdale came in and sort of challenged him for the number 1 spot in the goal for Newcastle. He's been fantastic, and I think he's going to keep his place, and he has really good fixtures as well to get some more clean sheets for his team and get some more points for your FPL team. So he comes in at number 9. Number 10, we have Enzo Fernandez from Chelsea. Hopefully he'll be fit, but if he's not fit for Sunderland, then of course you can leave him out of the team. There are some other good alternatives that I'll talk about later on in this draft. But he is looking like an outstanding pick if he's ready to play, because Chelsea just keep scoring a lot of goals, but they just haven't had like any standout players to score the goals since the start of the season. Joe Pedro got all the goals at the start, like game 1, 2, 3, 4. I think he got like 30 points-ish plus from those 4 game weeks, and then since then he's just been blanking left, right, and center because he's struggling as the number 9 for Chelsea with all the set-piece goals drying up. But Enzo has been just an outstanding player so far this season, especially without Palmer in the team. He is the number 1 penalty taker. He is also playing as like more of a number 10, getting into the box all the time for easy tap-ins. He's just a really offensively good player, and so for a really cheap price as well, so I really like him as a pick. But that is assuming he's fit to play. He's still like easing himself back into training, so maybe the Sunderland game will be a bit too early, and then after that it's Spurs. So you could wait 2 more game weeks to add him into your team, but he's also someone you could just have on your bench, and if he doesn't play, you'll have one of the Crystal Palace players coming in as well to step in for him, and that's not the worst thing in the world, even though they are facing Arsenal. So yeah, Enzo, really good pick, especially if he's fit, but even if he's not fit, I think it's going to be a good long-term pick, because Chelsea have some really nice enticing fixtures coming up pretty soon. Wolves and Burnley are like the prime fixtures for Chelsea. Those are 2 of the easiest teams to face in the league, so he's not like someone that you need to have immediately, but I think Sunderland at home, if he's ready to play, he's going to be a great asset to have immediately as well. Number 11, we have Iliman Ndiaye from Everton. They also have some better fixtures ahead. Spurs now is not the best, but it's also not the worst either. Spurs tend to concede like 1 or 2 goals each game, and Ndiaye has looked fantastic for Everton, both in terms of DEFCON points, which is kind of surprising, like how good he's been at that. Last game he got 17, I think, defensive contributions. He had 11 at the half, so he's just really good at that in general, and he's also the penalty taker for Everton. He's such a skillful player, such a good player. He's one of the best players outside the big 6 clubs, in my opinion. So he's also just a really good pick in general, and Everton's fixtures are now finally getting a bit easier after most people jumped on Ndiaye for like the Game Week 6 wildcard. I think that was a bit too early because they still had really tough fixtures apart from that West Ham game. But now I think the fixtures are getting better. Sunderland away is not like particularly like, it's not like a super easy game per se because Sunderland have been pretty good at home, but I think Everton have enough firepower to do something there in the match where Moyes faces his old club at Sunderland, which many people seem to forget that he was there. But yeah, Fulham at home after that is also a pretty good game. Man United away, some other like decent-ish fixtures, like the best fixtures for Everton are from game week 18 onwards, but Ndiaye is going to be a good asset for now. He keeps getting points as well from a lot of different avenues. So yeah, he's a good player to have, and he comes in at number 11. Number 12, we have Gudmundsson from Leeds. Leeds have actually been surprisingly good this season, especially like defensively. They have created a lot of chances lately as well. And I have selected Gudmundsson. I have been back and forth, Gudmundsson, Rodon, but I think what did it for me this time is the fact that Gudmundsson is not only is he 0.1 less than Rodon now, because Rodon went up in price, but also if you looked at the bonus point system points that they got in the last game, Gudmundsson just completely clears Rodon. He's just so much better for bonus points. So that's why I kind of like him, because when it comes to DEFCON points, they're going to be like pretty similar. Rodon has maybe more goal threat, but Gudmundsson has more assist threat, and he also has better bonus potential if it's just like a blank and no one gets an attacking return, they get a clean sheet. I back Gudmundsson to get the extra bonus points. And I think with the fixtures that they have coming up now, there are some possibilities for some clean sheets. You can start Gudmundsson now against West Ham. West Ham are looking terrible. Nottingham Forest as well, looking pretty terrible in Game Week 10 or Game Week 11 as well. So I think there are some nice matches for Gudmundsson to play. He has pretty decent matches, and Leeds have just been a pretty good team this season. And Gudmundsson is super cheap, so yeah, I think you should have one of those cheap defenders to get more value for the rest of your squad, basically. So yeah, he comes in at number 12. Number 13, we have Senesi. He's been dropped down a bit since last time. Not quite sure why. Like maybe it's because they conceded 3 goals against Palace. That's not saying too much because Palace are really good offensively, but I'm not quite as sold on Bournemouth defensively as I was previously in the season, but maybe that's just recency bias because Palace just managed to score so many goals and have so many chances against them. But Senesi, of course, is a great player to have. He's had DEFCON points in every single game except for 1 so far this season. So he's really good when it comes to DEFCON points. He has that assist and goal potential. And he has some really nice fixtures as well, Nottingham Forest and West Ham. In particular, Aston Villa haven't really scored that many goals either lately, so 3 out of the next 4 are pretty good fixtures where you could start Senesi in those games. So I do quite like him. He is a bit more expensive though, which is a bit of a downturn, but I think over the course of the season he's going to be a really good pick, and he has good fixtures, so he comes into the team. But I'm not quite as sold. Like, he is the player that I would sacrifice if I needed some extra money in the bank. For example, if I want to upgrade Ndiaye to another player that I have on the cusp, I would probably remove Senesi and bring in another 4.0 type of defender, and basically lean more towards Gabriel, Timber, and Muñoz most game weeks to help me through those game weeks. But yeah, Senesi is still a good player, but he is a bit expensive, and I don't have as much confidence in the Bournemouth defense as I had previously in the season. So yeah, he's dropped down to 13 because of that, but he's still in the squad regardless. 14, we have Dubravka in goal. He's just a pretty simple choice to have, has easy fixtures as well, but I think with Pope in goal there, I don't think it's too much of a worry, especially like the next 3 fixtures, which is when Dubravka has good fixtures. It's one of the downsides to having the Pope Dubravka double up, because they have sort of overlapping good fixtures, because Dubravka is really good to have when you need him to, because I've started him 2 game weeks this season, and he's gotten a clean sheet in both of them. Even on my bench boost when he played against Liverpool, he was super close to getting a clean sheet there and getting a huge score even then. So Dubravka has been a fantastic goalkeeper for me so far this season. Whenever I needed him to play well, he's played really well for me. So yeah, really like him quite a bit. But of course, he's going to be a backup because Pope is going to play every single game pretty much. So yeah, it's not really that important player to have, but he's also obviously a no-brainer because he's the only 4.0 goalkeeper who's going to play long term, and he's like a gift for FPL this season. Simple backup choice to have for 4.0 for like one of the worst teams in the league in Burnley, but they have shown to be pretty good at home against the weaker teams this season, and that's when you want to play him if you need him to, basically. Number 15, we have another newcomer in Kroupi Jr. from Bournemouth. Scored twice when he got the chance to start against Crystal Palace. It seems like Evan Nilsson's going to be out for this game as well. So Kroupi Jr. at home to Nottingham Forest. I think that's another great game. Yes, Nottingham Forest have gotten Sean Dyche as the manager now, but I think still Bournemouth are going to win that game quite easily. And I think he could be a really nice differential for that game. After that, the playing time is going to be a bit more sparse, I think. I think when Evan Nilsson's back, he's going to play most games as a starter. But I think Kroupi Jr. has actually shown enough quality that they might be wondering maybe we should start him over Evan Nilsson in the end after all, because he is such a bright talent. So he's mostly there for just a cheap price to be able to afford the rest of the team, and also he has a really good fixture against Nottingham Forest before Evan Nilsson comes back. So he's just a really nice placeholder guy to have in the team. But of course he's really cheap, so you can go with someone else who's really cheap as well, because you're only going to have him realistically for one game week before he's going to be benched for eternity for you. So yeah, Kroupi Jr. comes in at number 15. And he's another one of those new players. I don't know why I raised my voice there, but he's another one of these new players you can see with green names. Muñoz, Gudmundsson, Ndiaye, Mateta, and Kroupi Jr. Those guys are new since last time. With 5 guys coming in, that means 5 guys have dropped out. 5 guys is also a pretty good burger, so I don't know why I brought up that. But anyways, let's move on to the players that have dropped out since last time and see why they've dropped out since last time as well. First and foremost, Jared Bowen. I was just super dismayed by what I saw from West Ham. I had a lot of faith in West Ham with the fixtures coming up. Brentford at home, Leeds away, Newcastle at home, Burnley at home. Like, I thought that looked like good fixtures, but for West Ham, most fixtures aren't a good fixture because they're just so bad, especially at home. Like, there's been 4 straight home games lost so far this season, and West Ham have looked really, really bad. So yeah, Bowen has dropped out since last time. He's still a great player, of course. He always gets points. He's probably going to get some points going up in the next few game weeks. I have him in my own team, and I have no rush to sell him, but I might do that next game week even, depending on how he looks against Leeds. But yeah, just way too disappointing with West Ham at the moment, as a West Ham fan especially, to have any faith in Bowen going forward, sadly, because he's such a good player. And if West Ham are playing well, he is going to be the main beneficiary of that. But West Ham are not playing well, so he's dropped out since last time. Joao Pedro as well just keeps blanking every single game week, and I do think there are some really good alternatives there now at the striker position. I even have one guy on the cusp who was really close to making it, but I just didn't have enough in terms of like the money in the bank to have him in the team basically. But Joao Pedro, yeah, he's not really doing much. Maybe he'll be better if Guiu plays up front and he gets to play as the number 10, which is more his preferred role. But it's still not going to be on penalties. That's going to be Enzo Fernandez most likely. And he is also someone that is going to get less playing time potentially pretty soon, because Liam Delap is also back in training. So yeah, Joao Pedro dropping out for that reason. Also Richards in defense, I just prefer Muñoz. I think he has just more upside as an attacking player, so I do think the extra money is well spent with Muñoz there. You could downgrade Muñoz to Richards to have enough money to afford a better striker, for example, or a better midfielder, depending on where you want to spend your money. But yeah, I think Muñoz is just a better pick currently than Richards, because Richards keep getting DEFCON points, sure, but he keeps also conceding. And only gets like 2 or 3 points, while Muñoz gets assists or goals pretty much every single game. Like, he's such a good offensive player. Rodon as well, like I mentioned, dropped him out for Gudmundsson because I prefer Gudmundsson slightly on bonus points potential. And also Dewsbury Hall, since I have the money available, I went with Ndiaye instead because he looked so promising against City, and he's just a better asset in general if you have the money available. But I think Dewsbury Hall is still a viable pick if you don't have the money available. I think he's going to come good eventually, but Man City was not the game for him to show his true worth. So yeah, we'll see what happens with him. Maybe he'll score big again pretty soon, but he's only scored big in 1 game week so far, game week 3, when he got like 12 points, I think. But yeah, I think he's still like a decent option, but he's not like an ideal option. He's mostly someone that you would have on your bench and spot start and hope to get that haul once you play him. But yeah, he's dropped out since last time as well. So that's all the guys that have dropped out since last time. I also promised, I guess, towards the end of the video to talk more about who I would bench this game week. And I think, honestly, with the current squad that I have now, I think I would just bench all the 3 Palace players against Arsenal, because Arsenal are the best team in the league. They're playing at home against Palace. So I think most likely it's going to be like a 1-0, 2-0 type of game for Arsenal. And if that's the case, there's not going to be many points to go around for Muñoz, Sarr, or Mateta. But I could be wrong. They could be really good offensively, so I wouldn't mind starting either of them, really. But I also feel not too bad benching them either. So yeah, those guys are the ones that I would bench probably this game week. And I think the team looks just really solid after this game week as well. So yeah. But then going on to the final 3 players that I need to talk about in this video. The 3 players that were on the cusp: 1 defender, 1 midfielder, 1 attacker, that were close to making the squad but didn't for one reason or another. And here they are. The defender is Cucurella from Chelsea. I just didn't find the money. I think Gabriel, Timber, and Muñoz are just better asset assets at this point. Chelsea have conceded quite a lot of chances lately because they've gotten so many red cards, but Cucurella, as he showed last game week, getting DEFCON points, getting a clean sheet as well. Bonus points, he's pretty good at that as well. So Cucurella has a lot of good qualities. He's also super attacking, and we're still waiting for his first like attacking return this season, but we know from last season that he can go forward and get those goals, sometimes assists as well. But he's just a really good asset, and I think I wouldn't be too surprised if he gets a goal or something in the next 2 game weeks. The fixtures are really good, as you can see with the Enzo fixtures there. Sunderland at home, Spurs away, Wolves at home, Burnley away. Even after that, I think they have like an okay fixture. They do have Arsenal in game week 13 though, which is pretty tough, but they are just a pretty good team with really good fixtures, and Cucurella is a really good asset in general. The player from midfield that I said I wish I had more money to have would be Gakpo. I would probably sacrifice Ndiaye to get Gakpo, but that leaves me with 1 million too little in the bank, because the team I play for this team is 100.6, which is quite expensive already. So to get Gakpo, you could downgrade Senesi and bring in Gakpo rather than Ndiaye, or Enzo for that matter. I think like if Enzo is injured, I would probably go Senesi down to like a 4.0 defender and get Gakpo in for Enzo, because Gakpo looked really good for Liverpool against Man United, or he looked really likely to score, like was so close to scoring, hit the post a couple times. But I think Gakpo as well, he's someone that you could wait for as well, with the next few fixtures for Liverpool being pretty tough. Like not like super tough, like they are still decent fixtures, but I think just the form that they're in now, you might want to reassess after 3 game weeks when they have City in that 3rd game week, and then from game week 12 onwards, Gakpo's going to have amazing fixtures, and that's when you will want to bring him into your team, I think. You could also downgrade Senesi and bring in Voltemade up front and pick someone like King in midfield instead, rather than Ndiaye, someone that is 4.5 that plays, in Josh King from Fulham, because I think Voltemade is also a super good pick, especially now with Fulham at home, with no Anderson there. West Ham away at London Stadium right now, that's like the best place to play. So Voltemade has just been so good for Newcastle in general, so I think he's a really solid pick as well. Wouldn't be too opposed to Gordon either, but he's like more of a playing time type of risk, it seems like right now. Voltemade is still like the #1 striker for Newcastle, playing 90 minutes pretty much every game, and he scores pretty much every game as well. So the next 2 fixtures are so good for him. I was super close to bringing him into my squad, but I just didn't have enough money available with all the other expensive picks in the squad here. But I would not be too against you going for him if you really like him as a pick. But for my squad structure, and also just like the Kroupi Jr. chance to have him playing against Nottingham Forest at home for this 1 game week, I felt like that was too good to pass up, and I wouldn't want to remove, of course, Haaland or Mateta. They're ranked pretty highly in this draft. So Voltemade is really good. Gakpo is really good. Voltemade is more like a player that you want really right now, and Gakpo is someone that you can wait for. But those 2 guys are really good assets that I really like as alternative picks if you want to go a bit more off the template, I guess, with some other potential players that are also really good assets in general. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the weekly wildcard draft. As you can see, I have 7 out of the 15 players listed right now in the squad, and I'm looking to bring in several more as well. In game week 10, I'm most likely going to do Mateta and Saka in somehow and get up to 9 out of these 15 players. So I feel like I'm in a pretty good position to not wildcard myself. I still have the wildcard available. I'm not going to use it until game week 15 most likely right now. That's going to be my tactic, using it in game week 15 and then having 5 transfers in game week 16 and having just like an optimal team with the optimal amount of transfers as well, and just be able to have some fun and stay ahead of the curve basically from that point onwards. As you can see, also really happy with my rank currently, 49k. You can see under me there. So yeah, really happy with the season so far, and it's going pretty well for me in general. So yeah, if that entices you to watch my channel, if you trust my judgment after watching this video and seeing my rank and seeing my suggestions in this squad and my reasoning for picking them, then please subscribe to the channel. That would mean a lot to me. Like the video, comment down below. It's what is also super nice to see. Like I really like the engagement there, and I always try to respond to every single comment that I get. So yeah, any one of those things would be a really nice thing for me, of course. But yeah, you don't have to. You can just watch if you want as well and not worry about that. Maybe you clicked off the video already, then you won't be able to hear me say this and hear me blabber on the other videos like I usually do. And that is also a good time to end the video, I think, as well. But yeah, anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.